Again, it gives me great pleasure, 1 year on this next slide, to be able to show you the impact of that resource. It's one thing to produce the resource, it's a whole other ball game to see what you do with it. And this is Simon Pyle at Anson Primary, and he's done some remarkable work with Space Adventures. And when we were creating the resource, I had this vision about you creating your own Space Adventures in school. And how about this for what they did in school? And it's not just, oh, they've used green screen. Look at the imagination there and what you can do. To be honest, I used a £5 piece of green cloth to make Space Adventures when we filmed it. If I can do that, look what Simon's doing, and I hope that's inspirational for you. But that's not enough. I said to Ollie Trussell, who's within the curriculum team, but he's our G Suite specialist, I said, Ollie, I want Space Adventures live. He said, okay. So he was working with a whole group of G Suite schools. He said, that's fine, because Ollie's from a maths teaching background and science. Ollie wrote all of the maths and science for Space Adventures, by the way. And he organised some schools to come together, and we did Space Adventures live. I was working from home that day, so I logged onto the link, and I arrived at it, and I'm not saying I was underwhelmed on arrival, but I thought, after spending all of that time making it look so good, is this really... And I thought, let's be patient. So I watched Ollie teach through the G Suite platform and pick up on a part of the narrative in Space Adventures, and he did different activities. Not all the children clearly completely understood all the tasks. But what was really interesting is I just watched in the space of an hour something remarkable happen. So by the end of the hour, there was such a combination of different activities that by the end of the hour, there was actually tangible achievement, data, assessment, tracking. It was all there, evidenced as to what the children had done. I also observed in the hour Ollie picking up on individual children that he doesn't teach, he doesn't know, but by name, because by the virtue of the technology, was able to give them guidance, to pick them up on what they were doing, point out those that thought it was an art class as opposed to a maths class, that kind of thing. And then also link it back to the narrative. So in a way, I said to Ollie, I want you to be Houston Ground Control, and I want you to perform that role. And so he did that. It was remarkable. So the hour was over. I picked up the phone, rang Ollie, and I said, Ollie, that was great. I really enjoyed it. And he said, yeah, I'm just so sorry, though. I had to do that from home. I was going to come into LGfL and do it. And, of course, it doesn't matter where you were. But that was, do you remember, the snow day that we had? It happened to be on that day. So I watched it from home. Ollie taught what turned out to be 7 schools at once. And Luke from Britannia Village, I don't know if you're in the room, tweeted later in the day, thank you so much, our children really enjoyed it and got a lot out of it, and tweeted these photos, which, of course, I couldn't see watching that event, the actual children involved. But I thought, whoa, hang on. We are getting into some different territory here. Lots of issues, lots of challenges surrounding the management of this. Of course, Ollie's a guru on G Suite, so he can do all of that aspect. But I've spoken to different head teachers about this particular experience, and it's been met with great interest when let's face it, we are struggling with money in schools, we're struggling with staffing. Think about it in terms of differentiation. If you've got cohorts of children, can you link them up in different ways between nearby schools or schools within your maths? So I hope that's food for thought for you, because we intend to do more of this. So it's a combination of the cloud platform with the content as well. If you like the sound of this, but you don't think that you're ready, but you want to get there, then just engage with all of the work that Jose and Ollie are doing on cloud platforms. We've got a cloud support page where you've got the details on that, and we've got a new digital transformation framework, which basically is an audit tool, a little bit like the ICT Mark from NACE, but it basically helps you understand where you're at and where you need to go as well. So I hope that's interesting, but I am going to move on now quickly.